Hi, shalom everybody. It's good to be back with another video. And I have another interesting story, a testimony that God put in my heart, and I want to share with you today so that you guys will be very blessed. But before that, I hope that you all are staying safe and staying blessed, walking in the Lord. And even during this time of MCO or lockdown, whatever we call it, I believe you are keeping strong. Yeah, it's not easy. I understand the situation. We can't travel anywhere. There's some limits to us, but we still need to keep moving in our life, still believing that good things going to happen. We also have the good news. The vaccine is around, but we still need to pray that everything will go smoothly. We will be back to our normal life. We keep believing that it will happen. Yes. And today's stories I like to share. I believe like during this time of lockdown, we'll have our valley time. You know, some people go through this giving up time. We call it the valley season or the dry bone season. All this, you know, sometimes you feel that where's God? What's happening? Why is God not around? And you don't want to move forward. You believe God is not there. Why He's not working on me? Why He's not talking to me? So you want to give up. It actually will happen to everybody, this one. Even the great German reformist in the 15th century, Martin Luther, went through the same situation, you know. There were times that he didn't want to come out of his house and he was just sitting there doing nothing. He was really giving up his valley season. He was going through his dry bone season until his wife, Katharina, was fed up with him, you know. She one day wore a black dress as if going to a funeral and walked past by him. And Martin Luther asked her, somebody died, is it? Are you going for a funeral? And his wife answered him and said, God died today. I'm going for God's funeral. That's how you are behaving, as though God is dead. And that walked Martin Luther. He actually wake him up, you know, and he rise up to the occasion. Then he realized God is still with him, and he start moving. And everybody know he's the founder of the Lutheran teaching. This guy who had the differences between the Catholic Church, and he came out with this Lutheran teaching. And this was the guy who had his own valley experience until his wife got to wear this funeral dress to waking up. So guys, don't worry. God is still doing His work, because I got a testimony to tell you that God is still doing His work. He's still raising the dead. You know the story from the Bible, the Lazarus story. The Lazarus, brothers of these ladies, Mary and Martha, he died, and Jesus wept. Then he went there after he was buried. That was the fourth day. He went to the grave, and their graves were like a cave where a big stone was rolled to cover the hole. And Jesus said, move that stone. Immediately, Martha said to Jesus, Lord, it's been 4 days. You'll have the stench. That means she was telling that the body's rotten, you'll have a real bad smell coming out. But Jesus replied, if you only believe, you will see the glory of God. That was his answer. You see, at that moment of time, in that situation, people at the grave, they're probably crying. The mind will be telling that he's dead. He's not going to come out alive. Nobody knows that Jesus is going to bring him alive. They only know he's dead. That's it. It's finished. It's done. It's rotting. The body is rotting. So they probably thought Jesus is there to cry or just want to have a look. But Jesus had greater plans. His thoughts are higher than ours. His plans are different. We are just human beings. We don't know what he's going to do. That's what Jesus did. And Jesus called Lazarus' name out. Lazarus, come out. Lazarus raised from the dead. He came out with his graveyard clothes. He walked out. Then they unclothed the graveyard clothes, and he was alive. That's how Jesus worked. This is a true story from the Bible. And Jesus hasn't stopped doing that. He's still doing. He's still healing people. Because we all know Jesus is alive. He rose again from the dead on the third day. We believe it. We need to believe that he's still alive. That's why he's still doing it. I know this story. I used to work in a factory and become a friend of one of the senior worker there. His name was Moses. We become close friends. We were working together. And one day he told me this testimony. Moses told me. Moses told me he actually come from a town called Klang. He was from a squatter area, a very notorious area. He himself was a gangster. He was doing odd jobs, didn't have a permanent job. He was always involved with fight, extorting people's money. And the people in the neighborhood, everybody feared him. As life was going on, Moses had some back pain. This was believed to be due to the fights that he had. Somebody must have hit him hard at the back, or he had back pain. He was married and he had 4 kids, little kids at that moment. Slowly the pain came back. The pain was getting quite severe and he can't walk. So he have to be sleeping all the time in his house. He was just lying down on the floor all the time. And his wife was doing some work, a little pay. There were times that they feed themselves with 1 packet of instant noodle, and everybody shared that food. That's all they had, food sometimes in their house. And as days passed by, Moses was getting bad, and there was no one to help him, no one to take him to the hospital. His wife was just ignorant. She was just going to work, come back, just looking at Moses, who was just lying there like a dead body or waiting for him to die. Then suddenly, one elderly couple came over to their house. They claimed that Jesus spoke to them through their prayers. Jesus told them to go over to this house, and he said, you will see a man lying down there and pray for him. This is what they heard during the prayers. So they came over. They prayed for Moses, and they advised him. And Moses listened to them, and they voluntarily took him to the hospital. He was admitted in the hospital, in Klang General Hospital. He was there for 2 months. And doctors actually couldn't detect what caused the back pain. And after 2 months, one final X-ray report, they saw his backbone was badly damaged, some part there. It was really badly damaged. So immediately they transferred him to the specialist center, the University Hospital in PG. So he was there, and doctors did the observation on him, and then they set the date for a surgery. They need to do an implant on his backbone. And the day came, they did the surgery on him. But after the surgery, Moses died. He died. So doctors have to wrap up the body, took Moses' body to the mortuary, and actually they were supposed to put him into the cold room, the drawer-like things. They put him there, and that day it was full, so they left the body outside, maybe waiting for the family to claim the body, or later when there's empty space they will put him into the cold room. So left him there, and about after 3 hours, I think 3 to 4 hours, actually Moses got up. He was covered with that white cloth. He removed the cloth, he got up, and there was a man who was taking care of the mortuary. He asked this man, why am I here? The man, who looked at him with a great shock, he ran as fast as he can. I think he would have break the Olympic record, or he would have run faster than Usain Bolt. He ran, informed the hospital authorities. In the hospital, the doctors, the surgeon all came back. They saw Moses was alive. They took him back, they put him in ICU, and he stayed there for another 2 weeks, and he was discharged. I asked Moses, what happened that moment of the few hours you were dead? Did you see anything? I have curiosity to know that, so I asked him, and he told me. 2 angels came, took him. He went up on a narrow road, he said. And he met Jesus there with a book of life with him, just standing there. And Moses saw him. And Moses pleaded with Jesus. He said, he asked forgiveness. Then he said, he has little kids and his wife there. Please let me go. I need to go and feed them. I need to take care of them. And he said he would promise Jesus that he will be a transformed man. And Jesus told the angels, take this guy back. And the angels actually brought him back. That is how he came out alive. This was the story. And then after that, after Moses was discharged from the hospital, he got himself a job and he started attending the church. As time passed by, the squatter area, the place that he was staying, the squatter areas, almost 3/4 of the population came to know the Lord. There was a few hundred people there who came to know the Lord because of Moses. God used Moses mightily there because everyone believed Moses was alive. He died and he was alive. So everyone believed. That is why God said, if you only believe, you will see the glory of God. This happened in Klang. And Moses is still here. He's still my friend. We go out for coffee sometime. We'll have fellowship together. We pray for one another. He still looks young. He's still working. He's still great, you know. And this is the real story. I bring up this story for those who think God is no more. God is still there. He's still busy. He's still raising the dead. He's still healing people. The blind still see. He is doing his work. He is the Alpha and the Omega. He's the author and the finisher of his work. You must know that. God is not going to stop you here. He needs to finish his work. He will use you. So guys, after listening to this testimony, rise up to the occasion. Keep going. If you're down, get some friends. Have some fellowship. Pray together. Pray for one another. You'll be encouraged. Get back to your book, the Bible, the Lazarus story. God is still raising. God hasn't given up on people. He's still busy as ever. Even the time of pandemic, no pandemic, but he's doing the work. We need to be prepared. I had my early time once, but I got over it. I'll bring up the story one day in one of my videos that's coming. So guys, I pray for y'all, whoever down there, if you lost your job, don't worry. God will open new opportunities. He'll open new doors. If you're down, He's going to raise you up. Be humble. Seek Him and you will find Him. He will bless you. So guys, stick to Jesus, look towards Him and be blessed. Until I see you in my next video, keep going guys. Shalom and good night.